Assassin's Creed Origins loves exciting loot, and there's nowhere better to get new shiny weapons and shields than the 25 Papyri puzzles scattered across ancient Egypt. Each scroll that you'll find in a temple or sacred place will give you a riddle to go and find some treasure across the world, and that's always rare or legendary with some exciting perks. Here's where to find each scroll in Egypt and the location of each riddle to get your precious treasure. A long drink. The scroll for a long drink can be found in Siwa. Head into the House of Life at the bottom of the village, and the scroll can be found just before you get to the temple on the right hand side in a tent. This is a nice easy riddle that starts in Siwa, come find me at the bottom of a bowl. If you aren't already in Siwa, fast travel into the middle of the village, take a look at the map and tag the helpful circle directly to the east of where you spawn in. Run over and you'll find a perfectly circular pool where your loot lurks at the bottom. Fertile Lands. The scroll for Fertile Lands is hidden in the Hypostyle Hall in Lake Mariotis. You'll find it in the upper level above the pool, just casually lying on a table. For the loot itself, fast travel to the Temple of Sekhmet and ride northwest from the temple and into the desert to find this great place to go for a date. You'll find a ruined village here, and inside you'll find a perfect rectangle of 4 low walls with grass growing inside. Jump in and you'll get the loot. Divided Valley. The scroll for Divided Valley is not so well hidden in the Great Library in Alexandria, and you can pick it up during the campaign when you go and see Aya for the first time. If you didn't do it then, it's on the ground floor on the left hand side before you climb the stairs to the statue. The loot for the riddle that starts in the centre of Sap-Pe Nome isn't too tricky to find, but you'll need to fast travel to the sink point just north of the Anthilla outpost to get to, funnily enough, the centre of Sap-Me Nome. Tag the outpost to get your bearings and then ride south. You'll find the canyon the riddle is talking about just before the outpost. Find the rock bridge, and you'll see a number of green trees on one side and only one on the other. Drop down to claim your treasure from the base of the single tree. Just mind the crocodiles. The Stone Gaze. You'll find the scroll for the Stone Gaze in Serapion Temple in Alexandria. There's loads of different rooms, but you'll find it on a table in the room furthest away from the main entrance. You'll want to fast travel to Lake Mariotis to find the riddle's Island of Ruins. There's actually a sink point on the island in the middle, so fast travel there if you've been there already, dive off and then get straight back onto dry land. Head in the direction of the enormous pillars, and you'll find the loot neatly tucked away behind the one on the right, hiding from the gaze of the statue. Nature's Way. This scroll is hidden in the Great Synagogue in Alexandria. You'll find it behind the building, sitting on a table. To find your precious loot for the Nature's Way scroll that starts in the east section of Canopos Gnome, you'll want to fast travel to the sync point to the east of Apollodorus' estate. Once there, you're going to want to head north on your horse, go across the fields, and cross the river. You'll find yourself in a field of felled palm trees. Head for the one next to the fence that's still standing, and you'll claim your bounty at the base of the tree. Sobek's Rage. Funnily enough, the Sobek's Rage scroll is hiding in the Temple of Sobek in Fayum Oasis. Find the seriously huge Sobek statue, climb it, and you'll find the scroll on the ground on the balcony above. To solve the riddle that starts east of Crocodilopolis, you'll need to fast travel to the tomb of Amenemhat III in Horus Gnome. Head straight forward down the pyramid, yes you can slide some of the way, and run into the temple ahead. Head around the side of the statue in the middle, and then head straight to the back of this statue's head that's jutting over the top under the zipline. Here's where you'll claim your treasure. Hunt down the In Plain Sight scroll in the Palace of Papyri in Memphis. You'll find it in a small room at the back on top of some bookcases, so you'll have to climb to get it. For your loot, you're going to have to travel to the Fayum Oasis to spot the cause of the multicoloured river. Fast travel to Crocodilopolis and then tag up this island on the southeast section. You can ride to a certain point and then you'll need a boat to go the rest of the way. Steal one, or swim to the island, and you'll find these multicoloured dye pools. Leap into this grey one, and the loot is inside. Burning Bush. You can pick up the scroll for the Burning Bush riddle in the Wabet in Memphis. The scroll sits here amongst the mummies and the embalmers in the north corner of the area. To find the riddle location, you're going to have to fast travel to Per Usir and label up the dusty area to the east. Ride to the coast and switch out your horse or camel for a boat and sail across the Nile. Make a beeline for this lone tree. Once you've avoided all incoming ships and boats, jump ashore and run to the bush that will promptly go on fire when you claim the loot for yourself. Twin Despair. For the Twin Despair scroll, you want to head to Heraklion in Heraklion Gnome. It's hidden in the Temple of Khonsu, and you'll find it on this desk here. For the solution to your riddle and some precious loot, you're at least in the right area. Fast travel to as close to the Yu huts in Heraklion Gnome as possible, and head into the flooded northeast of the map. Once you reach the huts, send up Senu to scope out the area, and you'll spot these two huts, one with a roof and one without. You'll find the loot to the left of the closest tree in the water behind them. The Leaning Tower. To find the Leaning Tower scroll, you're going to need to head to the upper level of the Serepion of Karanis Temple in Karanis in Fayum. It's here, upstairs. For the solution to the Leaning Tower, you're going to want to fast travel to Dionysus and head northwest on your horse. Follow the road along the shore until you spot an exceptionally wonky tower coming up on the right hand side. Head around the back, past the stairs, and you'll find the loot hidden in a bush to the left. Dead or alive. The scroll for dead or alive is easy. Simply make your way to Kyrenica in the northeast corner of the map. Now head into the Apollyon of Cyrene. You'll find the scroll on a table at the back left of the room. For the solution to the Dead or Alive scroll, you'll need to fast travel to the Green Mountains using this waypoint. Once you arrive, you'll want to head for the Roman camp of Souros to dive into the waiting hay bale, turn around 180 and make your way down the cliff face to the road below. Once at the bottom, call in your mount and head along the road towards the camp. After a long ride, you'll get to the camp. Call in Senu and mark the loot inside the camp here between the water and the arena. Now head inside and there's a giant elephant who really wants a fight. Ignore it and run straight for the loot, pick it up and then head for the door you came in to escape the grey floppy-eared monster. Underground currents. To get the underground current scroll, head to Cyrene and then climb up to the top of the Tomb of Batos. Drop down through the giant hole in the roof and you'll find the scroll on this table at the edge of the room. The loot for underground currents can be found in the not so idyllic Green Mountains. You'll want to fast travel to this point to the south of Cyrene next to the lake. From here, dive into the lake and get out the other side. Call in your mount and keeping clear of the camp, head to the north end of the lake. Soon you'll come to a small stream, head up it into the mountains and up the waterfall. You'll find the loot at the top. Undue Haste. The scroll for Undue Haste is hiding in the Temple of Zeus in Kyrenica. It's on this table to the right of the giant statue. To find the lifesaver from the riddle, fast travel to Apollonia, and if you're lucky enough to have unlocked it already, the lighthouse on the island is actually a sync point. Dive into the water and then swim up to the right and back onto the island. Head around the back and you'll find the loot here on the sand. Stone Fungus. You'll find the Stone Fungus scroll in Giza, immediately north of the Great Sphinx in the Eastern Cemetery. Drop down in from the roof entrance and you'll find the scroll on this table. The loot itself means a bit of a ride across the desert. Fast travel to Giza and then head southwest to the furthest pyramid that houses the Tomb of Menkaure. Ride until you reach the pyramid, send up Senu, and keep an eye out for the two mushroom rocks to the northwest of the pyramid. Ride up to the stones and you'll want the little one on the right hand side. but you can jump across from the other one like me to claim your prize and a nice view. Ray of Hope. You'll find the scroll for Ray of Hope in Alexandria inside the tomb of Alexander the Great. The scroll is hiding on the floor of the upstairs tower, so you'll have to head inside and climb up the pillars. So this is probably the longest trek you'll have for a papyri. The west entrance to the valley in the Katara Desert is one of the 5 hermit locations in the game, and you'll find the loot at the base of the furthest tree from the oasis before the valley gets seriously dusty. Thoth's Secret. The Thoth Secret Scroll is lurking, funnily enough, in the Temple of Thoth. You'll find it west of Hermopolis in South Horus Nome. The scroll itself is on the floor at Thoth's feet. For the loot location, you've got a bit of a trek, but you're going to want to fast travel to Hermopolis, tag this question mark on the map like this to get your bearings. Now jump on your horse to head to the shore, grab the nearest boat, or ask nicely, and head across the water to what will become a treasure location. Now clamber up what looks like a sink point at the top, dive off, and you'll find yourself directly in front of the loot. Dead End. You'll find the Dead End scroll in the Zephyros stables in the middle of Canopus Nome. The scroll is hiding on a corner table inside the barn on the southeast side. The Dead End loot is over in Sappy Res Nome, and your nearest fast travel point is the sink point just northeast of Letopolis. You want to eagle dive down, call your mount and head up the coast, keeping the water on your right hand side. Past this pile of grass, past the logs and this ruined building on the left hand side, and you'll see a dredged waterway with stone walls. Ride along to the very end, jump off your horse and nab the loot. The Blasphemer. You'll find the scroll for the Blasphemer in the Valley Market in Fayum. If you're having trouble finding it, fast travel to Umeria, head south and follow the road east. The scroll itself is up to the left and on a merchant's table. The loot for the Blasphemer is in Horus Nome. You'll want to fast travel to Philadelphia and ride southeast. You'll eventually end up in a valley full of tiny pyramids. You'll want the one at the far end up on the hill on the left that's in the shadow of the slope. The loot is at its base. Deafening Silence. The Deafening Silence scroll can be found in Alexandria in the Ision Temple. It's lurking behind this statue on a table. For the loot, you're going to want to head to a quiet place, and it's an island just north of Alexandria. Fast travel to the middle of the city and ride north. Yes, your horse can go downstairs. Ride until you'll have to swim or grab yourself a boat and head for the island. Once you reach dry land again, head left to the west beach and you'll find it here on the sand. Forsaken City. The scroll for the Forsaken City can be found in the Green Mountains in Balagray around the back of the Temple of Asclepion. It's on the table inside this building. So to find the house of the blasphemous man from the riddle, you're going to have to fast travel to this sink point, south of Paratonion. Jump into the hay below, and then head down to the right and ride down the hill until you come to a ruined village. You want to head up to the very far right and up to the house on top of a rock that looks down on the others. You'll find the loot in the middle. Sea of Sand. The Sea of Sand scroll can be found in Papyri's Gnome. You want to head to the Temple of Horus to the southeast side of Letopolis. The scroll is here on the right hand side of the statue. For your precious loot, you're going to need to fast travel to the southeast of Imment Gnome, where there's a ruined ship in the middle of the desert. Thankfully, you're not going to have to go far. Dive to the palm trees at the bottom and pass time until morning. The shadow of the masts marks the X, and all you have to do is run down to collect it. It's not exactly on the X, but close enough. Fallen Friend. The Fallen Friend scroll can be found in Memphis. It's hiding out in the Temple of Ptah in the top of a hill. You'll find the scroll on a table here under a leafy covering. The treasure for Fallen Friend is also in Memphis. Fast travel to the east of the city, dive into the water, and jump on your horse on the other side of the river. Ride up the coast until you reach the two huge statues guarding that east canal. Jump into the water and swim straight right in the eye line of the south statue. Dive down and you'll find the little statue surrounded by bright blue fragments on the riverbed and the loot for your trouble. It's before you reach the ship, so keep an eye out. Royal Flora. You'll find the Royal Flora scroll in Heraklion Gnome in Galenos' house on the west side of the village of Natho. It's upstairs on a table. For your precious treasure, you'll want to tag up this island south of Neath Cradle Hideout and then fast travel to Natho. Turn right from where you spawn in and find a boat to take you across the water. Steer down towards the river, minding this hippo, and keep going until you can't sail anymore. Call your horse to continue the journey. The hideout will appear on your left-hand side through the trees, but you want that uber tree on the right-hand side. Scoot over the handy little bridge, and you'll find the loot here on the other side of the tree. Just Laws. You'll find the Just Laws scroll in the Fayum Oasis. It's in a workshop south of Philadelphia, just waiting for you to grab it from a table. Your prize is hiding in Atef Pehu Gnome, and the fastest way to grab it is to fast travel to Kerke village. Once you arrive, head northeast towards the camp on the river and turn left up the road before you get to it. Now keep following the road and keep an eye out for smoke ahead. It's coming from these clay smokers on the right, but you want this one on the left. Clamber up on top and the treasure is hidden right on top. Wet work. The wet work scroll is lurking in the Green Mountains in the Oracle of Apollo temple on the hill. It's pretty much exactly on the border with Kyrenica, and you'll find the scroll inside on the ground here. For the loot, you're going to want to fast travel to the Aqueductus Kyranicae, and instead of diving off, have a full-on free-running assassin's experience and run up the aqueduct. Skip, leap, jump and climb until you reach the very top. Head inside and you'll find a pool straight ahead. Leap in and you'll find the treasure underwater at the back here. So that's all 25 papyri locations and solutions in Assassin's Creed Origins. Let us know if you found any exciting loot in the comments below. Check out the boxes on the left for more content from us, and don't forget to click the big button in the middle to subscribe for more gaming news, reviews, tips and guides right here on Games Radar Plus.